feel Sunday morning after going against a team that ran 104 plays on Saturday?
To be honest, better than I thought it was going to feel. I thought, me and Jaheim in the rotation we had kept us both fresh. So on my part, I felt pretty good, and I think the team felt pretty good as a whole. I think it was a pretty clean game for everybody coming out of it. And it was difficult, and it's a situation that we're not in very much, playing the 104 plays. But I thought we handled it really well. Came out on Sunday, but for the most part, ready to go, and we got after it Sunday, just preparing for this week up ahead.
2 years ago, Luke Fickell would talk about how UCF is the class of the league. Now you guys are the class of the league, having won the last 2 championships. We see the work, but what does that work look like to get to that point away from everything, the stuff that we don't get to see? How much work have you guys put in to get yourself in this position?
Everything we do, from the moment we walk in the building, it would be, I think, January 13th is when we started, this new team to now. Every day we're in here doing something to, get us to that next step. In the off season, in the winter, it was, for that first 6 weeks of the winter, it was just the strength training. And then you move into the next phase of spring ball. And after spring ball, you have a next phase, it's more strength training. And then you hit, the kind of phase in the summer where you're doing some OTAs, you're starting to work into football, but you're not quite there yet. And then you kind of hit it running when you hit camp. And that's when football really, dives deep. But everything we do, every day we come in here, it is, to work and to get to the point where we want to be.
A game like Saturday where offense is really clicking in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half. How does the defense respond to that, or maybe try and stay the same level locked in when things could be going different on the other side?
Like I said, it was a very unique situation. Offense was definitely clicking in the first half, but we got to play 3 units of one: offense, defense, and special teams. Unfortunately, the offense, may have slowed down a little bit in the second half, but our goal was still to do the same things defensively. And there will be a situation sometime at some point this year, we need that offense to step up and continue to roll. But we were able to kind of handle that really well, and I thought we did. And it got to play. It's like I said, the 3 units is one.
Ivan Pace is the AAC Defensive Player of the Week. Just as a fellow linebacker, and he's right there next to you making plays, how much do you celebrate that?
You got to celebrate a kid like Ivan. He is just an incredible football player, and I think he's an incredible human being off the field. Very unique in the way he goes about his business, but to play next to him is an honor. I'm so glad that he's wearing the UC, the Bearcats across his chest, and like everybody saw, he's really fun to play with, and he's even more fun to celebrate.
We talked about you guys kind of switching between Will and middle linebacker. Even during the game, how much freedom do you guys have? It seemed like sometimes maybe third down, he would move to the edge and you would come back to the middle, and vice versa. How much is that you guys just kind of communicating play to play on what to do?
I think we have like a kind of distinct, set of rules, but we try to play to each other's strengths. And, Ivan's really good, up in the line, getting off blocks, making guys miss, and I think that I can use my length a little more to advantage, dropping in, holes in coverage, making it hard for quarterbacks to throw balls over me. So depending on what situation is, we kind of have a little bit of freedom, but for the most part, we kind of have a set of rules that we go by.
Olivia.
You go back to Ivan. Coach says he's really quiet. I feel like that's the vibe we've gotten. What's he like in the locker room, or have you ever seen him kind of come out of the shell?
Yeah, so when Ivan first got here, he was definitely very, very quiet, and I think that speaks to him as as a person. He really just got here and came to work. For that first kind of 6-7 months he was here, he really didn't say a whole lot. He was kind of to himself, but more recently I think he's started to become really comfortable in the locker room and around all the guys, and he's kind of started to come to life a little bit. And I'm not sure what that switch was, but you can't really shut him up now. I don't know if, I think it's comfortability level just around everybody. So in the locker room, he's kind of the new energy guy, which we need more of those guys. Every locker room needs some energy guys, and he's definitely one of them nowadays.
Coach Fickle talked about, the one kind of objective goal you always talk about is winning a conference championship every year. Is there any kind of, now you're gonna pay closer attention, but is there any type of mentality shift or anything you guys do different starting this week as you move into conference play?
Not necessarily. I definitely think, conference play is where, kind of our goals meet, whatever we need to do. Our one goal is to play for a conference championship, play for championships, and that road starts here. Not that the games that we played aren't important, because they absolutely are. That starts here on Saturday.
Any other questions for Will?
We talked to Fick about this too, like, when you first started here, a 21-point win, regardless of circumstances, would have, been a notable victory. Is it weird to, even as a team, realize like there's room for improvement, there can be disappointment even in having a big win like Saturday?
I mean, after, I've been through the entire growth of, this program over the last 6 years. So, to be able to come in and celebrate a, 21-point lead like we had, felt really good. But, in the back of your mind, you could still celebrate it. But, when we come here on Sundays, there's room to improve. So that celebration process is, that 24 hours after the game, and you got to be able to, be mature enough to celebrate, but still take, learning points from the game.
Any other questions? Awesome. Thanks, Will.
Yeah, thank you guys.